Picture this, a dusty roadside and a small, frail figure sitting perfectly still. He was so thin, his bones seemed to press against his fur. He was silent, a ghost of a cat, lost in a world of his own. We found him there, a little soul waiting for, well, we didn't know what. We brought him back to the shelter, a safe haven from the harsh streets. We decided to call him Leo. We offered him the tastiest food, warm milk, everything a hungry cat could dream of, but Leo wouldn't touch a thing. He simply turned away, his gaze fixed on something far beyond the walls of his room. Days turned into a week, then two. Leo's routine never changed. He would find his spot by the window, his amber eyes scanning the horizon, watching the clouds drift by, as if he were waiting for a specific signal, a familiar face to appear in the distance. He was waiting for someone who, it seemed, was never coming back. We, the shelter workers, grew more worried with each passing day. He was fading, not just physically, but his spirit seemed to be dimming too. We tried everything we could think of. We brought him squeaky toys, crinkly balls, even catnip mice that other cats went wild for. Leo just blinked, unimpressed. We wrapped him in the softest, warmest blankets, hoping the comfort would coax him out of his shell. Nothing. He remained a beautiful, heartbreaking statue, locked in his silent vigil. His silence was the loudest thing in the room. It wasn't the quiet of a calm, contented cat. It was a heavy, profound silence, filled with a longing so deep it was almost tangible. We'd sit with him, talking to him in soft, gentle tones, telling him he was safe, that he was loved. But our words seemed to bounce off an invisible wall. He was here with us, but his heart was somewhere else entirely. We started to fear the worst. How long could he go on like this? How do you save a creature who has given up, who has lost the will to live because they lost the one thing that mattered most to them? We were running out of ideas, and we were running out of time. Then, one quiet Tuesday afternoon, something shifted. A new volunteer came in, an elderly woman with kind eyes and a gentle smile named Mrs. Gable. She was there to help with laundry, but as she walked past the cat enclosures, her steps faltered. She stopped right in front of Leo's room. She peered through the glass, her expression changing from gentle curiosity to stunned disbelief. She pressed her hand against the window, her breath fogging the pane. She just stood there, staring at the little silent cat who was, as always, staring out at the sky. We watched, holding our breath, wondering what she saw that we had missed. She asked if she could go inside, her voice trembling slightly. We opened the door for her, and she moved slowly, cautiously, as if not to startle him. Leo didn't even turn his head. She knelt down, her joints creaking softly. The room was silent, except for the hum of the air conditioner. Then she whispered a single word, a sound so soft it was almost carried away by the air. Milo. For a moment, nothing happened, and then the smallest miracle. The tip of the cat's ear twitched, just a tiny, almost imperceptible movement. His wide, vacant eyes suddenly focused. He blinked once, twice, then slowly, as if waking from a long, deep sleep, he turned his head. His eyes, which had been empty for so long, locked onto the woman's face. They widened, and a flicker of recognition, of pure, unadulterated shock, lit them up from within. And then he did something he had never done before. A small, raspy sound escaped his throat. A meow. It was weak, fragile, but it was a sound. The entire shelter seemed to freeze. Every one of us who had tried for weeks to get a reaction from him just stood there, speechless. The connection was electric. Mrs. Gable let out a soft sob, her hands covering her mouth. "Oh, Milo," she cried, tears streaming down her face. "It really is you." The story tumbled out between her happy tears. Milo wasn't a stray. He had been her beloved companion for 7 years. Months ago, a terrible storm had swept through their neighborhood. A fence had blown down, a door had been left ajar in the chaos, and Milo, terrified by the thunder, had bolted. She had searched for him for weeks, putting up flyers, calling shelters, walking the streets day and night, calling his name until her voice was hoarse. She had eventually lost hope, believing her precious Milo was gone forever. And all this time he had been waiting, refusing to bond with anyone else, holding on to the memory of his one true person. That night, for the first time since he arrived, the cat we knew as Leo ate. He didn't just eat, he devoured his food, purring a deep, rumbling song of pure contentment. He wasn't in his enclosure anymore. He was curled up in Mrs. Gable's arms, nestled against her chest, right where he belonged. He kneaded her sweater with his paws, his eyes closing in bliss. He was home. His name wasn't Leo, it was Milo, and he had finally found his way back. This incredible reunion reminds us that some bonds are forged so deeply in the heart that they can withstand distance, time, and even despair. They don't fade away. They just wait, patiently and silently, to be found again. Thank you so much for watching this incredible story of hope and reunion. If it touched your heart, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone who needs a little reminder that miracles do happen. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next story. We'll see you in the next video.